team, and it comes your way next.
The sun has gone down and the mercury going down as well. To be expected, I guess, here on an autumn night just outside of D.C. at FedEx Field.
The enthusiasm for football here on the East Coast always in the air. These folks are ready as their guys get set to match up
with the New York Giants.
Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Washington team as they interplay here.
They have certainly got it rolling of late. Winners at 6 in a row.
And it's simple. The more you win in the regular season, the more likely you play at home in the postseason, and that can take you deep into January.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Giants, it's late in the year. We all know it. We've seen the calendar for these guys. Their bodies could probably use a break, but they have to push on.
And they're really not as worried about that as maybe we think. They know they've got the entire offseason to rest. All they care about is the game in front of them and finishing strong.
The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. First go on offense for the Giants under the guidance of Daniel Jones, the former Duke Blue Devil.
I still remember when he was drafted, there was a little bit of controversy about how high he was selected by the New York Giants. But his talents were revealed. He can make every throw in the book. Surprisingly good athlete. As long as he takes care of the football, doesn't turn it over, he can really make plays.
Now a throw here to his running back.
And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds.
4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. I tell you what, CD, this Washington defense, very strong in the victory last week.
Well, we certainly had a nice conversation with the defensive coordinator, didn't we? And what we heard, I like what we did, but we definitely need more pressure on the quarterback this week. When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
Now Jones. To the right and complete to Galladay. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Throwing Jones. That's caught by Galladay. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. Just shy of the 20. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
The first carry for the Memphis man, Antonio Gibson.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
The numbers on the ground for Gibson a week ago.
22 carries, 54 yards, and a touchdown.
Are we playing old school football now? We've got the top 10 rusher in the league. He's sitting at number 10, but he has a chance to move up with a big-time game. So expect that offensive line every time they go to the bench and tell the offensive coordinator, let's run the football.
6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
They'll run with Gibson.
And he's able to pick up the first down before he's tackled right at the 10. Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, You got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs. It gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10.
Back to throw. Jones. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. Von Miller racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
The 1st and goal looked like things were set up nicely, and now all of a sudden on 2nd and goal, Charles, a big challenge ahead of it.
And you have to know when you're this close to the goal line, things are going to happen faster, so you've got to get the ball out quick. Not going to have much time in the pocket before the defenders bring pressure.
2nd and 16. Shotgun handoff to Gibson.
And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line. Play number 9 now on this pretty long opening drive. But this is 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Jones. And fights him off. It'll be a loss of 13 on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down.
On 4th down, on is Graham Gano for the Giants field goal.
From the right hash, it's a 46-yard attempt. And Gano's kick is right through. And the Giants are off now to a 3-0 lead.
Able to move the ball on that drive. Yes, just 3 points, but 4 first downs were in there.
Yeah, and you can look at it and feel pretty good about the whole thing and think, okay, this should continue throughout this ball game. On the flip side, if you're a defender, it's almost like, whew, we only gave up 3. They moved the ball on us pretty well.
No return here for Clay Brooks, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. So out comes the Washington offense onto the field.
Leading them out is their quarterback, the former 12th overall pick. Some refer to him as the natural, Deshaun Watson.
His game last week reminded me of the old song, accentuate the positive. That's about all he did, right?
Yeah.
3 touchdown passes, over 300 yards in the air. Receivers happy.
And they got the win.
Got the win. If you're a running back who likes to catch passes, they're happy as well. Big-time game.
The numbers for him from a week ago. 6 catches, 80 yards.
And they think they have a matchup advantage in this one. They're going to try and find some space for him to work and make sure he touches the football.
First carry now for the Memphis man, Darrell Henderson. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3. Out of the gun, Watson.
Man open, that's Ja'Marr Chase complete.
And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. That'll be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10.
So the Giants getting the football back here for their 2nd drive.
They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Jones.
And the Washington pressure gets to him. He will go down.
And Thomas seems to be in some pain. He's still on the ground. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Another try after the 1st down sack. Jones.
This one left side caught by Gibson.
They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Looking to throw. Jones.
They'll dump that off to Gibson, complete.
And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. That's going to bring up 4th down, only a gain of 2 there.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down. They just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
On is the punter Townsend as he gets this one away.
So a change of possession here on the punt.
And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Now Washington going to retake the field for drive number 2. And they, if you just look at this game, Charles, on paper, they've got the edge, no doubt. They're hanging around the top of the NFC. On the other side, you got a squad that's towards the bottom of the NFC. But when we mentioned that to the coaches, they were having no part of it.
Yeah, and I like how you said when we mentioned it. In fact, I mentioned it, and I upset them a little bit, didn't I? Because they wanted no part of that one, and I was reminded, like a 5-year-old, this is the NFL. Any given Sunday, anything can happen. They are guarding against the upset.
On 1st and 10, Watson.
Over the middle, that's caught by Chase.
And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
Line of scrimmage, the 43 on 2nd and 4. Here's the first carry of the game for Cam Akers.
Not much there, maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
And Akers, he is not going to get there. They mark him short of the 1st.
A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Too long for a field goal, too short to punt. That in-between range, and they'll go for it on 4th down. Henderson going to run for it. And he's not going to get the first. I don't even think he made it back to the line of scrimmage. He needed a couple, but he didn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. And the Giants are going to get the football back.
Now here comes Daniel Jones and the Giants again.
And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to it.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with a quarterback on the ground so much.
Now, he'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good.
2nd and 5 now. Jones.
And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
On 3rd down, here's Gibson.
And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And this one incomplete. Oh, he couldn't hang on to it in the end zone, and that's one that'll haunt you. And now it brings up third down. And he's going to come up a few yards short of the first. They get him to the ground at the 37. A good pickup there, 7 yards, but it brings up fourth down. After one on EA Sports. Giant football, and we're ready to begin the second quarter. This would have been a 54-yard boot had they tried a field goal, but they will not try a field goal. They're going for it. They'll go. It's Gibson. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped.
Oh, yeah! That was fourth and what we would call long in that situation, wasn't it? That wasn't 4th and inches, was it?
No, I mean, you get in those situations, 4th and 3, 4th and 4. That's a lot to, what would you say, a lot of pizza left in that box.
It certainly is. Not everyone dove in on that one. In today's NFL, this is a passing down. All right, this is not a running down. That takes a lot of guts to call that play and even better execution.
They'll run on first down. It's Gibson, and this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Overall, I'd have to say that was just really good team defense because, to me, you can't pin that one on the running back. He had no shot there. He had a man in his face immediately.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Back to throw. Jones. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Jonathan Allen in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year. After that sack, 3rd and long, tough spot for Jones and the Giants. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That's out to the flat for Gibson. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. A gain of 9, not enough, and it's 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. He connected on his first, this from 41. Gano's kick is good, and they're able to double their lead in this first half. It's 6-0. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Here's Chris Claybrooks to return. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20.
Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
So
come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
From the shotgun, here's a give to Akers. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45.
He's obviously a bit of a shorter running back. And sometimes when he goes up the middle like that, he gets lost in there and then he pops out for 10, 20 yards.
I actually asked NFL linebackers if that was true. Do you actually lose sight of some of the smaller running backs? And all of them confirmed that that can be a problem. Think of it this way. 2 of the top running backs in NFL history, Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders, both 5'10".
On 1st down, Watson. Left side here, that's the tight end Fant. And he'll be down at the 46. So they go from 146 to the other on a pickup of 8.
Here's a run with Akers on 2nd down.
And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30.
They're making it look easy out there. Another 1st down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 1st downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Out of the gun, they give to Henderson. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line.
Working with 2nd and 5 now.
Off of play action, it's Watson.
He'll get this to Akers out of the backfield.
And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 12-yard line.
But they've certainly done a nice job spreading the ball around on this drive. This time he gets it out to his back, and it's another nice play and another 1st down. They got the defense on their heels a little bit. They're reacting instead of being aggressive and making plays.
Washington with their first trip to the red zone thus far.
It's 1st and 10 from the 12. From the gun, a give to Henderson. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
From the 4, it's 2nd and a couple. On the handoff, it's Akers.
And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. A shotgun snap for Watson. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2. They will indeed snap it to Watson.
Touchdown, Washington.
Darrell Henderson with touchdown number 7 on the year.
And Washington has tied the ball game with the extra point still to come.
There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Now the try here for the extra point. He's got it, and they take the lead at 7-6. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And the result, a touchdown for Washington. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
Holmes going to opt against bringing it out, and they will begin at the 25.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game, because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackle.
And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. Jonathan Allen, it's his 20th sack of the season as he continues what could be a record-setting campaign. Well, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
The Giants on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Looking to throw. Jones. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
Plenty of shouts from this crowd as they watch the replay. They want a challenge, and they're going to get one. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Now, here's the call.
Let's go. Let's do it.
So the challenge there does not go their way. This will indeed remain a completed pass.
And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Yeah, that was a safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. We see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss.
2nd and 11.
Back to throw. Jones.
This throw incomplete, nearly picked off. And with his pedigree, he doesn't drop many of those. But 3rd down coming up.
Here's Jones on 3rd down. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Washington offense will be backed up to start this drive as they've got it 1st and 10. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
And he'll use his blockers to get this up over the 20 to the 21. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Watson now to throw.
Throw left side, complete to Chase.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Henderson now on 1st and 10.
I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
When Leonard Williams was picked in the 2015 NFL Draft, I compared him to Merlin Olsen. And I got a lot of grief about it. Did you just see that play there? Did you see how he made that move and made that tackle? That was Merlin Olsen-esque there.
I just perked up when you said Merlin Olsen.
Yeah, a lot of people said, hey, that's too much, too far, and maybe it is early, but I think this guy has a chance of fulfilling that.
Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Here's Tress Way now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. first kick 47. This one looks good as well. And that is very well done there, as this will be marked out of bounds at the 5-yard line. They decide against going for it on 4th and 1, maybe to the dismay of their offense, but hey, a nice consolation prize down inside the 5.
Nice consolation prize indeed. So maybe the offense is upset, but they showed confidence in their defense by punting it away.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball to their territory.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Jones now to throw on 3rd down.
Into a sea of defenders and intercepted.
Picked up by Denzel Ward. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
Certainly not his best throw that time, and not a good time to make it, Charles, when they were a nickel with 5 defensive backs on the field.
And that's exactly why you have those 5 DBs out there. You want extra speed on the field, guys who have ball skills and understand what the passing game can do, and gives them a chance to react and make a play on the football, and they take one of those away.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Throwing again on 2nd down. Watson.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Now a 1st down throw. Watson. Completes it to Fant on the right side. Touchdown! Noah Fant. His 3rd touchdown now on the year.
And Washington going to add on to their lead.
Well, we know someone just added to his touchdown passing total, but all he did was get the ball out quickly to his tight end and let him take care of business the rest of the way.
Slide for the PAT.
And it's up. It's good. Our score 14-6. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive.
And it was polished off by a Washington touchdown.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Holmes going to opt against bringing it out, and they will begin at the 25. Now here comes Daniel Jones and the Giants again.
And boy, Charles, they have to find a way to just get him some time to breathe back there. He's been pressured throughout this game.
And I'll bet in his mind he's thinking the focus shouldn't be on how many times I've gone down. It's where is it happening? Where are the breakdowns up front? He'll never say it publicly because good leaders don't do that. But they've got to figure out what's happening in the offensive line to keep people away from him so he actually has a chance to throw the football, because so far that has not been the case.
5 full sacks against him.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived.
And the Washington pressure gets to him, and he will go down.
Brian Burns racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational, CD. That is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
So we've reached halftime here in our nation's capital with the Washington football team on top. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll start up at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. Justin Fields, a strong performance there, over 300 yards passing with 3 touchdowns in the victory. From there, let's get down to Baltimore to check in on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. And they were losers in that ball game to the visiting Cleveland Browns. Baker Mayfield, 4 touchdown passes in the victory. And lastly, on Monday Night Football, this will be one to tune in for, as they've got a good one lined up between the San Francisco 49ers and the Tampa Bay Bucks. With that, let's get a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Giants. And they were able to have a little bit of success on the ground. The question will be, will they stick with it? Or will they be throwing more to try and regain this lead? Meanwhile, for Washington, we take a look there at the numbers for them running the football in that first half.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. No return here for Clay Brooks, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go.
The Washington offense ready to go to begin the third quarter. Now Akers to start the third quarter on the ground. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. From the gun, here's Watson. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. Throw left side, complete. That's Henderson. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. The screen good for 6, but it's not enough as it leads to a 4th down.
And that doesn't have to gain big yardage to be an impactful play, because if you can get those pass rushers second-guessing themselves that they might get hit with a screen, maybe you can wind up slowing them down just a step. And if you do that, that's a win for that play.
Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. A call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return, and out will come the offense as they take over. Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the third quarter.
And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for the second half.
62 yards rushing for him here as he starts to draw closer to a 1,000-yard campaign.
You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play, because that's been an issue for them in this game. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Jones.
They'll check that down to Gibson out of the backfield.
And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Jones hit, and the ball's out. Fortunate to get that football back, because trailing here in the second half, last thing they needed was to lose the possession.
And the word I think of here is opportunity, because it could have been lost there, their chance to score points. But the opportunity for the defense was to go ahead and really close this game down if they were able to get possession.
Here now, Johnny Townsend, as he's on to punt for New York. Here we go on the next drive for Washington. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Not a lot of running room there, not a place to make a cut and kind of exit out because they had everything bottled up. Looked to me like the linemen were taking on their blocks really well and giving up no creases.
Second down, they'll go with Akers again. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. On the handoff, Henderson. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. 8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. They'll try the air now with Watson. And, he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete. They'll try and run for this with Akers. And he's going to have a 1st down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. Well, they gave themselves options there on the 3rd down play and were able to convert on that RPO.
Shows a lot of trust with the guy taking the snap, doesn't it? Because you're counting on him to make the right reads and give the ball where it's supposed to go. And he did on that play.
A pair of 1st downs gives them a 1st and 10 up at the 44. On 1st down, they'll stay with Akers on the ground. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. They went with the run-pass option, and I don't know if the option really mattered there because the defense was ready.
So many times you put the defense at a disadvantage because you have those multiple options, but when they read their keys and play it correctly, sometimes the result goes in their favor.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. To throw is Watson. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Here's Watson. He's going deep for Brown. And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big play that time through the air. 30 yards.
That's just flat out a beautiful throw right there.
It was a rope. That's maybe the speed you would see on a slant, but he threw that downfield with that kind of pace.
Now, if he throws that one with any type of arc, puts a little air under it, that play doesn't happen. He had to fire it in there, and he did exactly that.
On 1st down, it's Watson. Got a man open. It's Chase.
A gain of 6 there on first.
So 2nd and 4 from the 22.
Now it's Watson. He's to the 10. This will be caught inside the 10.
Touchdown, Washington.
Noah Fant, his 2nd touchdown of the night.
And Washington able to stretch that lead out even further.
That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the 3rd quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is let you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a 2-touchdown lead, right? Because you have taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. What a big-time drive in that situation.
Extra point by Sly is up and good.
And the lead is up to 15 now. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
This one fielded at the 5. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. New York ready to go again offensively.
And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
You got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now Jones. They'll find a man over the middle. It's Galladay. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
A handoff for Gibson.
And he's going to have the 1st down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line.
Here we go.
That right there, a good sign for a team that's had trouble converting 3rd down so far this year. They're in the bottom 5 in the NFL, but they come through there.
Yeah, and I bet if we put our guy Marvin on the case and say, Marvin, tell us where they rank on 3rd and what, right? I bet they're in the top 5 in the league on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 or more, because that's how you end up not converting. Just too much yardage to pick up on 3rd down.
And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home.
Von Miller, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues.
That's the 2nd sack of the game. The best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Another try after the 1st down sack. Jones. Wide open receiver complete. And all the way to the opposite 45. A big play there for the Giants.
And this offense needed something to try and seize the momentum a little bit, and that might have been exactly what they needed. Now they have a chance to go downfield and score and cut into the lead.
So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. Throwing, Jones. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Johnston.
2nd and 9 from the 44.
From the gun, Jones.
Jones in trouble here, and down he goes. Brian Burns in there to get him sack number 14 for him on the year.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
After that sack, third and long, tough spot for Jones and the Giants.
Now Jones throwing on third and long.
He's going to drop this one down to Gibson.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down for a nice little gain.
That'll bring up fourth down. They wind up getting 8 yards, but they needed more than that.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Here now, Johnny Townsend, as he's on to punt for the fourth time tonight. Out of bounds as he appeared to be looking for the corner. He got it. They're going to mark this at the 4-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back who's getting off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you do across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. It's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, taking away a lot of blocking angles and gaps, and maybe stopping him before he can get going.
Mugging the line of scrimmage, okay.
Yeah, in this case.
Now a handoff, Henderson.
And he stopped immediately there.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on third down.
On the give, this is Akers.
And they'll mark him down right around the 9, just shy of the 10. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves them with a fourth down now. One quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now at FedEx Field as we've got the final quarter upon us. We get ready to start the fourth. The punt team on now is from their end zone. They get it away. With it is Jackson. It's a 49-yard punt, but subtract 9 there for the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And New York set to take the field.
Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner.
Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 48.
They'll start on the ground with Gibson. Gibson gets hit, and he fumbles it. And it's Washington that scoops it up.
And he gets it back into the end zone. It's a fumble recovery leading to a Washington touchdown. We know this defense has some playmakers. We saw it right there. Well, really, we've seen it the whole game.
Isn't it nice to see that on the opposite side of the ball? Respect, my man, respect. The defensive guys are outscoring their opposing offense.
Yeah, they're outscoring him indeed with that score alone.
Sly on for the extra point.
He's got it, and the lead swells. It's 28-6. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score.
Holmes going to opt against bringing it out, and they will begin at the 25. Back on offense, New York gets set to take over. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the fourth quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat.
Jones throwing on 1st down. And that is incomplete.
They'll probably spend a little extra time dissecting the game film after this when I think the part of their plan was to hit them over the top with the deep ball. They've been unsuccessful all night.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing deep for Galladay. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. Here's Jones on 3rd down. Open target here, Darius Slayton. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
Again, he'll drop to throw.
They'll set up the screen for Gibson.
They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
Oh, boy, I know you felt that one. I know.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
And the Washington pressure gets to him. He will go down. Ed Oliver in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Well, here's what having mobility sometimes can work against you as a quarterback. He thinks he can retreat and outrun the pressure. But that time, they zeroed in on him and took him down for a big loss, partner.
A really big loss. After that sack, 3rd and long, tough spot for Jones and the Giants.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Jones.
They'll dump that off to Gibson, complete.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. And we pause a moment here because wide receiver Kenny Galladay still down. We'll check on his status when we get back. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Got to try it here. He's back to throw.
A high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete.
The Giants go on 4th but come up empty.
And Washington will take control of the football in great field position.
Well, at this stage of the game in the 2nd half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed a push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
They'll run on 1st down with Akers.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Second down, they'll go with Akers again.
And a short gain down to about the 33.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. On 1st and 10, Watson.
This is the tight end Fant.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Watson. And he's going to be dropped back at the 15-yard line.
Quincy Roche.
Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
first down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. Now Watson.
He'll get this underneath to Henderson.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down with a nice little gain. This offense so far on 3rd down, they've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and goal. Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
Great defense there on 3rd and goal. They took away everything. Forced him to fire that one to the sideline where no one could get it.
And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further.
Well, he was a spectator for much of this game. This is his first field goal opportunity of the entire contest, but he's able to connect.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it, all kickers that you and I know, they want to contribute. They want their opportunity, and he seized his.
Holmes going to opt against bringing it out, and they will begin at the 25. New York's offense back out there and set to go. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter.
Jones now on 1st and 10.
On this one, incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it, and it's 2nd down.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Jones. But in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down. Von Miller in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. Now Charles dealing with a 3rd and long. They'll have to try to go back to the air again, and this time avoid the sack.
Certainly hard to try to establish momentum when all you're doing is going backwards, not protecting the passer, and he gets dumped on his backside.
After that sack, 3rd and long, tough spot for Jones and the Giants.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
And remember, following the safety, you give the football up as well, and they free kick it from the 20 now. So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
A good starting spot for Washington as they come up 1st and 10.
Right at the 50-yard line.
Now a run with Akers.
And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They'll go again here with Akers.
And he's got this down to the 35.
79 yards rushing for him now on 17 carries. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game. Those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
They'll run this with Akers.
Pretty nice, aggressive run there before being brought down just inside of the 30. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
They'll run here with Akers.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Calling no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. Here's Watson. He's got his big tight end, Fant. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
On first down, Akers. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
Back to throw, Watson. Forced out, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. This will go as an 11-yard loss there on 1st and goal.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. Watson now to throw. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Emerson Smith
Able to run him down for a 15-yard loss, and it will be 4th down.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. He hit his first. Now this one from 48 yards away. And this one is right down Broadway. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Holmes going to opt against bringing it out, and they will begin at the 25. Another drive coming up for New York's offense. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. Just too much to handle on the other side in this one.
Throwing on 1st down, Jones.
They try to set up the screen. Oh, nearly disaster, but it's incomplete. Not much chance of that working. Almost intercepted. It's 2nd down. Jones throw here pulled in by Galladay.
And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. Operating from the gun, Jones got a man, Slayton, and brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They can go ahead and mark it in the win column, but as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
They'll look to throw again.
And that is incomplete. The coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
One thing you have to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't, but he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
Catch made by Slayton.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Back to throw again. He's going to let it fly. And this is caught inside the 5.
Oh, and the big play's going to get even bigger as penalty flags are down, and I believe they're going to get a face mask penalty tacked on. So give him the yardage on the completion and also tack on 15 more.
If you get that hand up there, you've got to let go immediately or just not close the hand at all. He didn't, gave it a tug, and that was easy for the officials to see.
Right there, 54, right there.
Now Jones from the gun, he'll throw. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes third and goal. Back to throw. Jones. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. So now the field goal unit trots out there for the third time tonight. And Gano's kick is right through. And they'll make a small dent in that big deficit as it's down to 27. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. Another drive coming up for this Washington offense. And this crowd has certainly liked what they've seen. Their guys fully expected to win this one coming in, and they have not disappointed as they've got the big lead here in the fourth.
The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here.
Second and 11 now. So it's Washington getting the victory here.
And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense it was much more the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that